Say hey, you're here with Tom and Fern. I'm Tom.
I'm Fern.
And you are?
Sprague.
He's John Sprague.
Actually, John Sprague, longtime Riverview High School coach. What year, sir? What year?
Came in 81 and 2010. Long time.
You know, last week we had Clyde Metcalf talking about Eddie Howe. You know, Clyde Metcalf won many state titles. Now we have John Sprague, who
lost
the Big Bagel. Yeah.
yeah. Nothing.
What happened in those games?
Bad players.
Bad officiating.
Bad officiating. I can't coach fumbles. Yeah, nothing's worse than losing that game.
Well, last week we're running the all-time teams of all the high schools. We ran last week the '88 team. You were the head coach. Just talk about that team. You were like 3 deep at every position.
Yeah, they were. That's an awful good group of kids. And what's funny is as ninth graders, Ned Ashton had them as ninth graders, and we knew they were going to be that good. And they stayed together. Nobody quit. They were all friends, worked hard, and we had some skill. Every one of those skilled kids. Larry Kennedy was a junior on that team. And some of the return teams he didn't make because we had Andre Booker. So Larry started the next year at Florida on all their return, but didn't start on some of ours. That's how good those guys were.
Yeah. Plus, that was the bike coaching shorts era, too.
Yeah, I've caught. Nice picture. Yeah.
We've destroyed all those. We don't have any of those in the file.
Okay, will those ever make a comeback? There's one thing that's not going to make a comeback. It's the bike coaching.
That's the first thing my golfer said at practice. I got this, Coach, what's up with that? I know, yeah. I told him it was pre-Michigan basketball.
So what do you miss the most?
Friday nights. Yeah, they're camaraderie, but I get it with I'm still hanging with those guys, and I know all the coaches and know the kids and try to help them with fundraisers and stuff. But you don't miss January through. You know, it's good to go fishing and spend time with your grandkids.
You know, the season starts Friday. That's why we have you here. Any more butterflies for that first game of the year? You did it for so many years. What's the feeling heading into the first Friday night?
You want to get paid. You know, those kids started in January, and they're thinking, hey, let's get a payoff. And winning the game, people say it's not important. To hell it isn't. Yeah. Because winning it and making mistakes, you can correct. It's a lot better correcting, mistakes on a win. When you lose, you start questioning things, but this is what the kids live for. Every senior is thinking that this will be the last time he'll ever put on a uniform, and that's a fact. And anybody that's played the sport, you stop thinking, man, this is it. I'm not going to go on and play college football, so I got to make the most of it. So it's exciting.
What do you miss the least?
Those bike shorts.
Yeah. I kind of thought I was hot in those things.
No, you weren't. Your coaches were always standing behind you for some reason.
All right. I thought maybe, okay. No selfie?
No.
But they're, I would tell you, probably seeing kids not live up to their expectation, seeing kids do stupid things to hurt their lives was the hardest thing for me to take.
Yeah. To comment about the Riverview program now, maybe you can expand it to football in the Sarasota area. Frankly, the Riverview teams haven't been what they were under you, but you can say that for Sarasota, Booker, and maybe even Conlamuni. What is the overall problem, you think?
I think when I coached, I don't think there was as many things that kids got in trouble for, and the idea of quitting didn't dawn on kids. Vegas Brown is a medical doctor, and he was a backup tailback. Did a great job when we subbed for him, could play multiple positions. He never thought about quitting. Nowadays, if I don't start, I depart. And I think dressing out the 70 and 80 kids that we used to dress out, I think those are days long gone. So if Sarasota High had somebody injured, they would sub with a kid that's been in the program for 4 years. That makes a big difference on how good you play.
Yeah, and kind of the demise of the multi-sport athlete as well, right?
Oh yeah, And now, you got to play year round. You got to play this. You got to play that. My granddaughters are involved in volleyball, and I'm telling you, involved. They end up going to the JO Nationals, and I think they started well, they never stop. And you're either in a club sport, baseball, you're what is it, wooden bat, metal bat, you're doing something sometime all the time, And you're right. I look back, the Luke Bency's that played all the sports, Pat Carter played sport, Andre Booker, all our kids were 2-sport, 3-sport guys.
Yeah. Could a John Sprague coach nowadays? You grew up with the salt tablets, suspension helmets. You told me the story about how they used to throw the rag out there with the water, and all the kids used to just suck on that.
Yeah.
Could a guy like John Sprague coach nowadays? I say no.
Yeah, you're probably right. My wife couldn't believe I made it to retirement. She was like, I got home and she was doing, cheerleading. Right. You made it. But I don't think. When we got our team doctor on the sideline, kids say to me, "Hey, am I hurt?" "No, you'll be fine. I'll go out there." So, hand broken.
Rub some dirt on and go out there.
Yeah. But nowadays, a kid says he's got a headache, he's out.
Yeah.
And I don't. What do we call them then? Bell ringers. You just got
right,
your bell rung. You'll be fine, son. How many fingers? So I don't. I couldn't handle that now. I don't think I could.
It's a true story. This is even farther back than when you were coaching. So my great friend and mentor, Gene Witt, was coaching in the 60s, right? And so this one guy, Captain Tony, he was a military captain and retired, and Tony gets this big gash over his eye, right? So they call up for the doc, right? Doc is wasted.
Yeah, good happen.
Doc has been drinking.
Good happen.
Big Gene says, "Well, looks easy enough to me." Stitches the guy up right there on the sidelines. No Novocaine, nothing. And he's the head football coach, and he's stitching up the guy.
Parents were fine with that.
And they send the doctor the bill. It's like, when did I do this?
No lawyers got involved.
And Tony loves me to this day. Yeah, Tony loves me to this day. So it's funny.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah. Will the wishbone ever come back?
Or the ram bone will ever come back.
Well, I tell you right now, Georgia Tech.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I tell you right now, Georgia Tech and the academies. That's not a team you want to play. But and the difference, the zone read is the wishbone.
Yeah,
it's just in a gun, and it's pretty smart. But that's why I'm a Georgia Tech guy.
I got to ask you, you're the golf coach at Riverview. You have been for quite a while. Yeah. You're 66 years old. Do you see yourself ever getting back into football? Paul Meckley helped over at Collingwood. Do you ever see yourself getting back on the gridiron at all?
I've had a couple guys talk to me about it, and the thing about it is if you're not willing to give it the 200%, the January, February, the March, after school, at night when a kid needs you, don't do it. And I don't want to do it in a bad way. I got involved in that Euro NFL and still in contact with them, had a nice camp in Sweden. Jim Ward and I are thinking about doing some things in football in this community and in this state. But, I'm looking, Marcus Waters, some of these guys and the youth guys, they're doing a great job. And I'd help out anybody anytime, but
your phone's not ringing now.
Yeah. What's up with that?
You answered the call from him.
Take the silencer off. Maybe we'll ring if you just hit the
answered his call. He took his call for God's
sake. Lose 2 state championships.
He called me back.
Lose 2 state championships. You're nothing.
What else? Before anything else we haven't asked you?
I got to give a shout out to my golf team. They won.
Their first match.
Yeah, won their first match, then played a pretty good team, but they shot 150. But Jeremy Perna, a little 3 under par, all coaching.
Why don't you tell the truth? Your first win under you. Why don't you complete the sentence?
Yeah, could be. But tell you what, a lot of fun. And looking forward to Friday. We got a Hall of Fame, Riverview's Hall of Fame.
Right.
And so we got some guys going. And then in 2 weeks, I'm going up to Florida State. Pat Carter's being inducted to the Florida State Hall of Fame.
Very nice.
So we're going up there, Jim Ward and I, and celebrate with the big man. My first high school All-American.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a high note to end on. Thanks for coming in.
Yes, sir.
What are we doing next week?
Next week, we're going to start our guest pickers. We got to come up with a better name than that.
Not nose. I mean, these are
come up with something
like
a little,
antiques.
And Sheriff Tom Knight's going to be on with us to talk about his picks for high school, college, and pro games.
And we're going to sort of match them, right? And we're going to keep a running total tally of who does what.
Something like that.
Something like that.
We'll figure it out. So
okay.
All right. Thanks again, Coach.
Thanks,
sir.
Appreciate it. See you next week.
See ya.